Hometown Glory by Adele. So I wanted to show you how to play this song. I know that there are a few other tutorials out there on YouTube on how to play it, but I think I've got a couple of different tricks that might help you to be able to learn it a little bit faster, a little bit more easily. So the song itself is fairly straightforward because there are just 4 chords. We have, let's see here, 1, 2. So those chords I'm sure sound familiar, and they're just repeated again and again in different patterns throughout the whole song. And in a minute I'll show you how to build those chords. But before I do that, I wanted to just share with you what I feel is like kind of the most, I feel like it's the most complicated or the most challenging part of the song, which is actually the finger pattern in the right hand. So in the right hand, we're going to have this pattern where you're playing, let's see, we'll start with the index finger and the 5th finger, 2 and 5. You're going to put those down first. And then when you pick those up, you're going to put down your thumb and your middle finger together. So those come up and the thumb and the middle finger go down. So 1 and 3. And then you go back to 2 and 5, and then 1 and 3. 2 and 5, 1 and 3. 2 and 5, 1 and 3. Might be kind of hard to see on the video, but that's the basic idea. 2, 5, 1, 3. And you know, that pattern, it just takes a little while to get used to in your hands. You can practice it wherever. You don't have to practice it on the piano, but like say you're waiting at the coffee shop and you know, you're just at the counter, 2, 5, 1, 3, 2, 5, 1, 3, 2, 5, 1, 3. Or maybe you're at home and you're like talking on the phone and you know, your right hand's on the kitchen table, 2, 5, 1, 3, 2, 5, 1, 3. So you want to just get that pattern into your hands, and I'll show you in just a little bit why that is. Now, let's get into the chords. We're going to go with the right hand first, and the first chord is a B flat minor chord. The way that it's built is the thumb goes on the B flat, the index finger goes on the D flat, middle finger goes on the F, and then your pinky finger goes on the B flat up on the top. So that's the chord. You play it all together. You can play it a few times just to kind of get yourself used to the hand position, what it feels like, what it sounds like. Okay, so that's the first chord. Now the second chord is very similar. You're going to actually leave your index finger and your middle finger exactly where they are, right? So don't move those guys. But you're going to move your thumb 1 black key that way to the left, to the A flat, and your pinky moves 1 black key that way to the left also. So if we play all those 4 notes together, that's what we get. Again, A flat, D flat, F, A flat. And again, you can play that a few times just to kind of get your hand shape around it. You can feel what it sounds like, what it feels like. Okay, now let's go back to the first chord again. So if you remember, the first chord is B flat minor. And then the second chord is just that, again, a little shift that way. So just the thumb and the 5th finger, the pinky finger, go that way. So first chord, second chord, first chord, and second chord. You want to probably practice that a few times to get your hands used to that transition. Okay, so first chord, second chord. Now the third chord is easy because it is the exact same chord in the right hand as that second chord. So that's the third chord. If we take it from the beginning again, you get chord number 1, chord number 2, chord number 3. Right? Again, chord number 1, 2, 3. All right. So now you've got the hang of that. We've got 1 more chord to go, and that's the 4th chord. What you're going to do is you're going to kind of squeeze that in a little bit. So your thumb goes one to the right, one black key to the right, so it's going to be on B flat. And then instead of playing with your pinky finger over here, you're going to actually now use your fourth finger and you're going to play in a G flat there. So basically you're going to move one black key that way, but you're going to use a different finger. Okay, so let's build that chord from the beginning. B flat in the thumb, D flat in the index finger, F in the middle finger, and then G flat in the fourth finger. And you can play that one a few times just to get the feel of it. It's a little bit of a kind of a crunchy chord. And yeah, there you go. All right. Let's review those 4 chords in a row again. First chord, B flat, minor. Second chord, gonna scoot it down just a tiny bit, shift it down to that A flat. Third chord, and then we're gonna kind of squeeze that inward to get the fourth chord. Let's go back to the first chord. So now that we've run through all the 4 chords, you realize that after the fourth chord, it just goes right back to the first chord again. It's just this repeat that goes on and on and on. And it kind of gives it sort of that brooding feeling, that brooding quality of the song. Okay. Now, let's introduce that finger pattern that we talked about. Reintroduce that. 2, 5, 1, 3. 2, 5, 1, 3. So we go back to that first chord here, and we're going to go 2, 5, 1, 3. 2, 5, 1, 3. Does that sound familiar? Okay, now let's move to that second chord, right? And we're going to do 2, 5, 1, 3. 2, 5, 1, 3. Third chord, same thing, 2, 5, 1, 3. And then for the fourth chord, which you remember it sounds like this, right? Instead of 2, 5, 1, 3, because your fifth finger isn't doing anything, it's 2, 4, 1, 3. 2, 4, 1, 3. Now, at this point, your hand's going to probably be pretty tired because it's just not used to that kind of a pattern. There's a little bit of a stretch in there. You know, you're going to just, you know, don't wear yourself out. Don't play this too many times in a row, but just kind of, you know, wiggle your fingers to make them relaxed. And you're going to, you know, again, whenever you have the chance, outside, away from the piano, just do a little bit of that pattern just to kind of get your fingers used to it. All right, so that's the right hand. Now we're gonna introduce the left hand. And the left hand's pretty straightforward. The left hand, you've got 4 chords that were in the right hand. We just got 4 notes in the left hand. B flat. Next one is A flat. Next one is F. And then G flat. Repeat. B flat. A flat, F, G flat. All right, now let's put it together. Right hand. We're just going to kind of get ourselves in the right position here. So the left hand's on that B flat here, and then the right hand, you've got your chord just all set up. Okay, ready? And here we go. Second chord. Third chord. So that's the basic idea. Now, if you play it exactly that same way, the whole song, it might get a little bit boring. So what they do in order to kind of make it a little bit more exciting, there's a couple of things you can do. The first one is dynamics, the loud and the soft. So when you start, it's kind of like a little mysterious, and you're just kind of setting up the mood. And so for that reason, they started kind of softly. And you can put a little pedal in there as well. Next time you play it, a little bit louder, a little bit more insistent. Okay, and then it just kind of builds, right? And at some point, if they just keep on making it more and more and more intense, then it would just be a little bit too much. So what they do in the middle of the song is they kind of bring it back and soften it up a little bit again. And what they do is instead of playing it in this octave, they shift it up an octave that way and they play it over here. So it sounds like this. And so then you have the chance to build it again and make it a little bit more intense until the really loud part of the song, and you just kind of like bring it back. Oh, I guess, when you get to the really loud part of the song, another thing you could do with the left hand, instead of just playing one note at a time, you could play octaves over here. So it would sound like this. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful. I hope you enjoyed playing the song. Bye-bye.